Alright, I'm going to try and answer some of the questions here about the anchor trolley and how the whole system works. First of all, I use a 5-pound window weight. This I have found is the best all-around thing to use because it doesn't get caught on stuff very easily. It's heavy enough to hold you in pretty decent winds, and you know, I really like the ease of operation for it. Anyway, with your anchor trolley, doesn't matter what kind of system you get. If you build your own, if you buy one like that one from ACK that I suggest all the time, you know, whatever you want to do, they're all basically the same. They all basically work the same way. You've got a trolley line that runs in between two different pulleys. They're at each end of the kayak, and you know, spaced out as far as you want them. It doesn't really, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's personal preference. I like mine to go as far as possible to give me as much adjustability as possible when I'm on the water, when I'm using the anchor. Anyway, you've got a ring. Some of them are stainless, some of them are plastic, some of them are, you know, whatever you got laying around, which is what I did. But you have some sort of a quick detach. I've just got an old carabiner, military issue carabiner that I use. And what I do is just take your anchor, put your line across like that, take your carabiner, open it up, and then just clip them both together, just like that. And there you go. You got your anchor line, it goes through the ring. And the reason you want to do it like this is so that you have that ability to move that anchor trolley up and down the kayak, you know, wherever you want to go, and your anchor line is going to go with it. It's going to follow right along with wherever you're putting your anchor trolley. Now, some people like to take both of the lines, and when they put it together, they feed this other part of the line that doesn't have the ring. They feed it through the ring so that the two lines are together, so that they stay together. I don't do that because I like having it separate, because it gives it a little bit of give when you're on the water, and so that kind of buffets a little bit of the wave action and whatnot. If you're in really choppy conditions, that kind of helps buffet it so the kayak isn't moving around so much. At least that's what I have found. So I leave mine like that. You asked about the way to attach it, as far as you know, any kind of a cleat or whatever goes. I use a zigzag cleat just because, again, that's what I had laying around. I didn't go crazy on making this when I made it for this kayak. But the zigzag cleat is pretty easy. All you do is, when you're working everything out, when you get to a spot and you want to use your anchor, you drop your anchor overboard beside you with everything still right here by your side, and then you move it out to where you want. Like, say I want to face into the wind, so I'm going to move that all the way to the front like that. And then that's going to mean that the wind is going to take me, so my anchor is now going to be out that direction somewhere. And once you're satisfied with how deep your anchor is and where you're at as far as how far away from the anchor point you are, then you'll want to come to your cleat and take the line that is paying off into whatever, you know, wherever you store in the remainder of your line, and then just take it and put it on your cleat, be it a zigzag or clamshell or whatever kind of cleat you want to use. That's, you know, it's up to you. And then that's what's going to keep your line from paying out, and it's going to keep you in place. If you want to, you know, get a little bit more distance from where you're at, just let that go and let the wind move the boat along, and then you'll redo it again. It's pretty simple. What I usually find is that when I'm fishing on a lake, I'm usually using the anchor in about the same depth every time. So I usually leave my zigzag like that, and when I want to leave, when I want to move, I just pull in like this, and then I pull in the anchor, and I just leave that excess just lay there at my feet like this. And then that way, when I get to the next point, when I get to the next part where I want to anchor, I just go ahead and put the anchor in the water. It's already probably got the right amount of line, and then just shove it on forward and do it all again. you had also said something about if you're fighting like a big fish, you might want to dump your system. It's really easy when you've got this carabiner set up like that, because all you got to do is just open that carabiner up. Your line is free, you know, and your anchor is already going to be in the water, so now your line's free. And I would reach behind me and just grab this bag and just throw it in the water, or just let it pay out, and the bag will probably come out on its own. If not, the line will go. I've just got a Gatorade bottle, a sealed 32-ounce Gatorade bottle in there. That is more than enough buoyancy to hold this whole thing up if need be. If I ever feel the need, I got to throw it overboard to fight a big fish. I've never encountered a fish where I've had to do that, where, you know, I felt that, oh man, I better dump my anchor so I can fight this fish. You know, you might come up with something different. You might encounter something different. But that's basically it. The parts of the anchor trolley are all, like I said, they're all basically the same. You've got a way to tie off your line somewhere with whatever method you choose. You've got your line. You've got a quick detach that goes onto the ring. You've got the ring that goes in the middle of your line, so that you can attach that to. And then you've got some pulleys at one end. You've got a pulley there and a pulley there. You see, mine is a little bit different. I went with a bungee setup on mine. Gives it a little more shock absorbency, because most of the lakes that I fish are pretty darn windy. So when I'm anchored, I like to have that extra bit of absorbency. It's not necessary, but it's just one of those things that some people like to do and some people don't. And it's just, you know, again, it's personal preference. But so that's that. And hopefully I answered some questions for you. If you got more questions, like I always say, just shoot me a line and I'll see what I can do for you.